put your motor on the back, and you know, as you're working in the garage or whatever, you know, he said standing around is good. Walking around is even better. You know, if you're, you know, depending where you live and what you do. In my neighborhood, I wouldn't want to be walking around with the motor on my back.
Well, not only that, Michael, it has a lot to do whether or not you're carrying, like, I don't know, a Paramotor USA unit on your back, you know, versus a Blackhawk, right?
Right. Well, that would be impossible.
You're talking 100 pounds versus
right.
55 pounds, so I guess it has a lot to do with the brand, too, when
right.
you're talking about some of these things.
Anyway, but that, you know, that does make sense, because, you know, if you fly a lot, both of you guys fly more than I do, but, you know, if I'm messing around and, you know, I'm getting ready to launch and something goes wrong and I got to walk back or turn the wing around, and it starts to get miserable for me. Yeah. And I know that if, you know, if I can't fly as often as I would like, but it's fun to go out in the garage and tinker and you know, work on your motor a little bit. Well, I'm going to add this to my little tinkerage routine, and, you know, just go through the steps for, you know, for the squatting and taking, you know, up and down. And then also just put it on my back for a while, and I've got a little kind of backyard area I can sort of walk around in. And then he said that, you know, standing's good, walking's better. Okay, no, I talked about that. Then launch practice. Tell me what you think about this. First of all, just running a little bit is good. And you need to be able to run to launch in our sport, assuming you're doing forwards, and if you're not, you're missing the best kind of flying anyway. But just basic running is good. Running with your machine a little bit is better. And that sounds funny, but think about, you know, just doing little trots and little sprints to, you know, to simulate takeoff. That's the most strenuous part of what we do.
I agree. It's the hardest to get a nice balance with a motor, too. So I'd say that that's an excellent suggestion. It really is. I mean, it's hard to do much of that, you know, especially when you're forcing yourself. But if an instructor's having you do it, I think it helps.
Right. The other thing Dave said was that, you know, you're doing this at home and this is without the gym or whatever. He said that just a handful of pull-ups and a handful of push-ups would make a difference. You know, just talking about the upper body strength, and I was describing to him, you know, how we you know, hold the risers and how all that works. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, every little bit that you increase is going to help, yeah.
It also probably depends on what type of flying you do. If all you do is you get up, you launch, you go fly around for an hour and a half, it probably doesn't really matter in terms of your enjoyment.
Right. But you know what? If you're flying someplace where it's difficult to launch, you
have endurance.
Yeah. And I still think, and all of us are getting older, and